called Darling in the Franxx. It's this like post-apocalyptic anime where there are these kids who were raised for the sole purpose of piloting mechs to fight this like robotic alien monster invasion thing. And there's a girl who's the best one who's like not human, but you have to be compatible like Pacific Rim with your partner in order to pilot these mechs called Franks. And this one boy isn't compatible with anybody. And so she comes to his base. She's like one of the best, but she's known as the pilot killer because none of her pilots survive more than 3 runs with her because her power's too great. And she siphons their life force, but she's able to partner with him. And so they are able to be compatible with each other while she's demonized for being not human. And he's ostracized for basically being the only person on the team who can't compatible sync with anybody. And it's kind of like a romance anime with heavy action, and it's really, really good. It's got like a really nice animation style that kind of reminds me of old Hayao Miyazaki films like Castle in the Sky, Spirited Away, Kiki's Delivery Service, like classics. But it's gorgeously animated, and the action is insane. It's super violent, but also incredibly funny. And I was like deep into an episode. I just watched like 4 episodes straight in the last 2 hours because I got into it. And so I was like, you hit me up. You're like, oh, I'll be live in 2 minutes. I'm like, nah, nigga, I got to finish this episode, bro. This shit's getting good.
Yeah.
And then me and my wife are watching the final episode of Peacemaker after this.
Can you fix your mic?
How about now?
Try it again.
Now?
There we go.
Yo, what's up? Yeah, my wife and I are watching the final episode of Peacemaker after this. And shout out to John Rodney. Love your voice, bro. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, and so getting a little John Cena going after this. So I'm excited. And I know we're talking about John Cena tonight as well. So, folks, with that being said, let Edgar welcome you to the Snug Wrestling live on Thursdays.
Yeah, that's the plan. The plan is to talk about John Cena tonight. But usually our conversations, we have one thing planned. You know, we have certain topics, and then they turn out to be something different. So you never know where our conversations.
What you're gonna get.
Yeah. Well, but that's cool. I mean, the whole point is, you know, we still give you all the information of pro wrestling that you want and need. But we do have 4 topics planned out. We have an update on the Raha Jackson conviction. We have some reports that WWE is changing their creative plans here pretty soon. John Cena, and also some contract negotiations from the WWE. Some people may or may have not re-signed with the WWE. So that's the plan for today. And we're going to get into it on this one-on-one with me, Edgar, the host of Snug Wrestling, and Mr. Bludd on our weekly one-on-one on TikTok Live. Please be sure to like the screen, double tap, share, and be a part of the conversation. Hit us up on the comments. Tell us your thoughts about these topics, and let's get into it, y'all.
Yeah, and just remember, guys, please, again, spam that like button and the share. The more you do that, the more TikTok pushes us out to other people to join the conversation, to join in on the live. We do this every single Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific for 1 hour. We go through topics, but we do answer your fan questions live so long as they are wrestling related or topic related. I do appreciate all the people who do ask me questions about my voice stuff and everything else, but we try to keep specifically to wrestling topics while we are here on Thursdays. And don't forget, we're live every Monday and Friday after Raw and SmackDown go off the air for live post-show reviews. We just uploaded our predictions for Crown Jewel just last night, as well as a new NXT review as well. And we will be live tomorrow midday for Snug at noon and 3 p.m. Eastern here, my time in Florida, for the SmackDown review, because it will be live at specifically an ungodly 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern time, as well as this upcoming Saturday's Crown Jewel and the post-show review for that as well. So if you guys are interested in that, please make sure to follow Snug Wrestling on all your platforms, all your social media, and on Apple and Spotify, where your boys are in the top 30 in the country for professional wrestling podcasts out of 250 listed wrestling podcasts.
Yeah, currently number 27, not number 15 like we were at one point, but it's all good. We're still in the top 30, which is awesome. And, if you guys don't catch us live, you guys can catch the audio on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and everywhere. And if you do, leave a star rating, leave a review, and help us stay on that top 30, y'all. That'd be super cool. But yeah, man. Raha Jackson is at it again. I mean, not at it again like he fucking went off on more people, but a couple days ago, Mr. Bludd did a Blood Drop episode where he talked about the latest. And Mr. Bludd, for the people who haven't listened to it, what was the final or the last Blood Drop segment that you did on the Raha Jackson? He was facing a couple charges, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes. So at the beginning, we incorrectly used the word convicted. He is yet to be convicted. These are the charges that are being brought against him. We don't know if they're being brought against him specifically by Syko Stu, the wrestler who's involved. I believe this is actually the state of California, specifically Los Angeles, bringing these charges against him. That is 1 count for felony battery and 1 count misdemeanor battery against Syko Stu for the over 20 unprotected shots to the head, where essentially, for those you don't know, the original situation with Raha Jackson and Syko Stu started back in mid to late August. They were at one of the Knox Pro Wrestling shows, which is owned partially by WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi, follower of the Usos, and partially owned by the Black Pearl, another Anawahi family member. And Syko Stu was backstage on a live stream. And he was trying to set up an angle, just having fun, doing what wrestlers do. Wrestlers never stop working. Well, Raja Jackson was a guest at the show, who had apparently, by the way, unbeknownst to many, suffered a concussion during a training event 24 hours prior, and was not even supposed to be at this event, according to his father, but he was brought there by his training manager. And he proceeds to get into it with Syko Stu, who thought they were setting up an angle, hits him in the head with a worked beer shot can to the head. Again, for those of you who don't understand, work shot, protected head, hit the hand, it looks like it hits the head. Raja gets aggravated, they get into it, realizes that he's not a wrestler, and they go ahead and make up, shake hands 4 times. Raja goes on live stream later during the actual match, which before this was set up by the Black Pearl, the promoter at the night. Rikishi was not there, who told Raja and Syko Stu they're going to have Raja run in on his match in order to set up an angle, because now this is being live streamed everywhere and they felt like they could get some traction. Well, AJ Mana, one of the wrestlers, got in the head of Raja Jackson, along with the people on Raja's own live stream, goading him into getting what's known in wrestling as a receipt, which means a get back or a stiff strike to let someone know that they've gone too far or hit you too hard, but that's in ring. Raja is sitting in the crowd before his run-in. He goes on his live stream and tells everybody that he is going to beat the crap out of Syko Stu for real. He's going to throw out the script and assault him for real until someone pulls him off, and he won't stop until someone gets him off. He goes in the ring, slams Syko Stu so hard that he knocks him unconscious when the head bounces off the ring, and proceeds to lay in punches and ground and pound over 21 shots to the face, shattering bones in his face, his mejilla bone, or his maxilla bone, his shattering a bunch of his teeth until he almost choked on his own body fluid, let's say, and teeth, until he was finally pulled off. Phone calls were then called in at the night of the incident, stating that there was an attempted M word that took place in the building. Goes from there, a bunch of repercussions. They finally arrest this kid several weeks later, last month. It took almost a month to arrest Raja. LAPD was conducting investigation into this entire situation, concluding that they were going to go ahead and investigate it as a battery. And now there have been charges brought against Raja by the state of California and the city of LAPD for those charges I have already previously mentioned. 1 counts felony battery, 1 counts misdemeanor towards aggravated battery. And now this past Tuesday, it was also being reported that they were going to be filing a complaint with the ADA, the Assistant District Attorney of Los Angeles, in order to bring criminal charges against him and also get an extension on his sentencing, meaning that whatever he is sentenced, they are hoping to elongate whatever that would be so they can go for it. Now, when it happens with felonies, typically, when you do get a felony, it does actually specifically allow, when bones crack in someone's body based on battery, specifically with felony, that you can get a sentencing extension, meaning they are looking for maximum time for Raja for this incident. And that is currently where we are at the moment. He does have an arraignment scheduled for this upcoming Tuesday, and we will know what happens from there.
It happened today.
Oh, it was today. The arraignment was for this week. My bad.
Yep. So if convicted, Raja Jackson is, with the felony count, Jackson faces up to 7 years in prison with additional 6 months possible for the misdemeanor. And currently, the arrangement took place today. Jackson pleaded not guilty to all charges.
Of course he did, even though his dumbass live streamed himself doing it. And all the evidence went viral. I'm not guilty, even though a few million people saw it while it happened, and then a few dozen to a couple 100 million more watched it after the fact when it was clip farmed to oblivion for a week and a half straight. And I even went viral for it myself twice. So no, this kid's not getting away scot-free. I know they're going to be looking to give him some kind of slap on the wrist. We know that Rampage originally said he believes his own son deserves jail time, which I'm sure prosecution is going to bring up. Well, your own father states he believes you deserve jail time, and he believes you deserve community service at the maximum amount, and he thinks you need to go to anger management. Well, I know that his counsel is probably going to say in the defense that, oh, well, he should probably get community service, and we'll agree to probation, and we'll agree to anger management. And they're going to try to say that he was goaded and it was self-defense. Well, it took place several hours after the original incident of them backstage even occurred. It's no longer self-defense. He admits to premeditation on video. So you can't save this. And no matter how much money Rampage has, which isn't as much as it would take to get this kid out of this, he was bonded out on fucking like $50,000. As far as it goes, if the California judge is smart, he's going to give Raja at least 75% of the book. And if it's not 7 years, I'm sure 4 years. We don't even know, by the way, we have yet to hear if AJ Mana is suing yet. And we don't even know if the most affected party, being Syko Stu, is suing yet. That news still hasn't come out. We know AJ Mana said he has a lawyer, but we haven't heard anything since because he was fired for his role that he played in telling Raja to get his receipt. He was fired by his real day job and by the promotion itself. And this whole incident cost Nox Pro their entire WWE ID program contract, where they were being used as a farming system and a developmental system into WWE, this new WWE ID program that started a year ago. Now, here's another big problem here, is that not only is Raja going to be facing charges from the state, which he currently is, he's got to wonder, okay, well, you can beat off the state, maybe. You're not getting away with on this lawsuit from the side of Syko Stu. And again, keep in mind, he's not just getting sued by one person. If Syko Stu decides to press charges, he's got an extremely good case here that his lawyer is going to make, and not to mention the fact he could still, this kid, Raja, could get sued by Nox Pro because he cost them their ID contract, which cost them money, loss of wages. People got fired, and he endangered other people on their property. They were children, minors present. They could easily argue in court that this was the endangerment of minors because he committed an act of violence in their presence. They were terrified.
Yeah, very likely. And also, I like the fact that obviously, Rampage Jackson is going to come to the defense of his son by saying he deserves jail time, which is a big difference compared to prison, which I think personally, that's what Raja Jackson deserves. But I wish I knew more about this, because now that Raja Jackson has pleaded not guilty in his arraignment earlier today, his next court date is scheduled for November 24th. But I always thought that, and especially in these like sensitive cases, they try to avoid taking these things to court, and they want to settle it before, don't they? Isn't that usually how it goes?
It depends, because you got to think about it. Look, so they brought the charges, he was arrested, he bonded out. The next course is the criminal complaint to the ADA. In these cases, that generally then leads to arraignment, and then after arraignment generally leads to a hearing, where then it potentially could lead to a trial. So, and that's generally how it usually goes in the court systems. The arraignment was so they could let him be known, hey, We want to know how you plead before we proceed. These are the charges being brought against you. That goes to a hearing where it's going to give them a chance to have the case thrown out or present this evidence or present that, make their case. And if the prosecution makes a better case than them, the judge is going to grant it to go to a trial. And then if it goes to a trial, we're talking 4, 6, 8 months from now. Or from then, where this is really going to start getting any kind of traction, because a docket, especially in California, you're talking half a year minimum to get in front of a judge for a trial.
And if he does go to trial, doesn't that like risk him getting the maximum penalty, which is like
100% going to trial is extremely risky, especially with all the evidence that he basically gave them by live streaming his own premeditation. It screws them to the wall. And look, I'm sorry, a box of 12 jurors is going to look at that and they're going to think, dude, there were children there. Dude, you admitted to it. Dude, you said what you were going to do.
He shook your hand.
And then when they present the evidence that, hey, you made up with this guy, and then 2 hours later, you cheap shot him, and then they're going to watch a video of Raja trying to beat Syko Stu half into a grave for a minute.
Yeah. It's not going to go good for him.
It's not going to go good for this guy. And you know what? Fuck him. It shouldn't. And here's the thing. Look, here's the big thing too, is that there's no way he gets out of this without jail time. And prosecution, let's just say for some reason, Syko Stu, some reason, doesn't press charges, which to me is stupid. Get that kid, Syko Stu. The biggest thing you got to think of here is, the prosecution can still call Syko Stu as a witness. It happened to him. They'll put him on the stand and cross-examine him, and he'll give them everything the jury needs. And the same thing, they'll bring AJ Mana up as well. They'll bring up Rikishi, the Black Pearl, anybody that was involved. And that's what it's going to come down to. They're going to bring his manager up. Hell, they might call his freaking father. Did you or did you not say in a press release on an actual interview with Ariel Helwani that you believe your son deserves jail time? Yes or no? Yes, I did. No further questions, Your Honor. And the jury's going to go, his own dad said he needs to go down for this?
Yeah. I mean, at least things are moving now. This happened in August, and then the court date is in November. It took 3 months for Raja Jackson to get a court date, which I think, at least in California, that's pretty quick, isn't it?
It's extremely quick. Hell, even in Florida, it's quick. I mean, sometimes when you're talking about getting to an arraignment, it can take a minute because they're also trying to think of what angle they're going to go at with this case, right? You can't just be like, oh, let's arrest him next day. You've got to investigate it from every angle. Pardon me. You got to investigate it from every angle. You've got to get witness statements, ask them for security footage if they have it. They've got to go talk directly to Rikishi and the Black Pearl and have a very uncomfortable conversation. They probably had to go talk to Syko Stu at his house. Anything like that. Remember, Rampage said he was in contact with Raja's lawyers and attorneys a month and a half ago because he wasn't talking to Raja, but he was involved with their attorneys. You got to think they talked to Rampage too. And at the end of the day, when we get to this hearing, which is going to be in November, the moment it goes to trial, this kid is fucked 6 ways to Sunday because that opens him up for everything. That's litigation. That's discovery. They're going to attempt to settle, but the state might not be looking to settle. The state might be looking for an example to be made.
Yeah.
Because this kid showed no remorse. And this is not the first time he's gotten in stupid trouble like this. And then the biggest damning piece to me is that this kid then booked himself for another wrestling promotion 2.5 weeks later and went to the appearance. That right there, full stop, exhibits no remorse of the situation whatsoever.
He's trying to capitalize on the fucking
and they're going to paint it exactly in that light. You tried to capitalize on your virality. And they're going to say, how are you getting booked another wrestling promotion? You had a concussion. I thought you had a concussion.
Yeah.
And then now there's police involved. You almost unalive a guy. And now you use the clout that you got from almost taking a man's life in front of families, God, and everyone else that you shook hands with that trusted you. And then you're going to go and try and make money off an appearance for it. They're going to nail him to a cross. And they should.
Yeah. I swear the people are probably thinking like, I thought this was a wrestling podcast, not a legal podcast. But I swear,
But
people,
it's 100% involves professional
this
wrestling.
happened in the pro wrestling world. So yeah,
And it was huge news. It was huge news for over half a month.
welcome to the Snug Legal Podcast. But yeah, the arrangement, no, the hearing, no, the court date, I should say, is scheduled for November 24th. And trust you me, we will be watching this very, very closely.
Be paying very close attention as far as it's concerned. Pleading not guilty, in my opinion, before we move on, extremely stupid, extremely arrogant, not bold, an arrogant fucking move to claim not guilty when you quite clearly have every bit of video. Like, they don't even have to provide like fish and subpoena for evidence. All that lawyer has to do in the prosecution is pull out his fucking phone and pull up TikTok in front of the court.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's it. Oh, this right here is why you pleaded not guilty? Like, he gave them every bit of evidence they'd ever need to build a case against him. He's an idiot.
Yeah. All right. Mr. Bludd, switching gears now. Let's talk about some WWE. Let's talk about SmackDown real quick. First, how have you been feeling SmackDown lately? Have you been enjoying SmackDown at all?
It's been extremely lackluster in the last 2.5 months. A lot of that in part to do with Cody being gone, going to film Street Fighter. So it didn't feel like there was really mega star power on it. Like, in the same like stretch of 2 weeks where John Cena's final appearance is on SmackDown, right? And we get a United States title match between him and Sami Zayn. Cody's then fucking gone for a month filming Street Fighter. And so your two biggest stars in the show are gone. And then we're sat here and we're supposed to care about Aleister Black and Damian Priest and whatever random mid-card feud they threw Drew into this month. And then the women's tag division, which is half non-existent. And, you know,
LA
it's
Knight
like,
is on Raw too now.
Yeah, exactly. They moved LA Knight over to Raw. And it's like, I feel like, and this is going to be very arrogant to say probably, but I feel outside of Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, and Sami Zayn, specifically them in the men's, and then let's just call it like it is, the biggest women's stars on SmackDown, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss and Tiffany Stratton. Sorry, guys, not even close to that level. They have no other stars.
And Jacob Fatu and Solo are not even on TV right now.
They're barely on TV, if that. I mean, and you're right, they're not. And they had Andrade, he's gone. They had Santos Escobar and Legado del Fantasma. We're going to get into that. And remember, I said the word had, so now we're speaking in the past tense. And then you got to look at Raw. Look at what Raw has. Raw has a sharing of Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, The Vision, Paul Heyman, Roman Reigns, both Usos, fucking CM Punk, the returned AJ Lee, and then you've got Rhea Ripley, Io
Grande
Sky.
Americano, the greatest luchador of all time.
Oh, suck it. And then you've literally John Cena now too, Brock Lesnar. Like, Raw literally just looked at SmackDown and said, yeah, we got that $5 billion deal, so we're gonna hoard all the biggest stars, and y'all can play with the toys that we bought last year. Like, I feel really bad for SmackDown. They are under the gun with ratings, and they are literally, I feel like WWE, like, they handicapped SmackDown, and it feels like they did it on purpose. It feels like they took a leg out, and then they didn't even give them a crutch to stand on. Like, I mean, genuinely, wind the clock back to SmackDown a year ago, bro. Like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the bloodline shit was on SmackDown. Yeah. Cody was on SmackDown. Like, there was so much going on that show. And look at it now. There's like 2 segments you care about, maybe one major storyline that most people give a shit about from a week-to-week basis. And that's not enough to justify a weekly 2-hour fucking show.
Yeah, and I love Solo Sikoa, but when he was a United States champion, he was in the main event. His faction was the main event. Now,
it was the biggest story. Yeah, it was the biggest story on SmackDown whenever John Cena wasn't there.
Yeah, and now Sami Zayn is the United States champion, and he's featured every week. but that's not the main. That's the mid card title. And yes, the United States Championship should be featured, weekly and often, if not, more than often on the main event or whatever. But yeah, man, it's mostly like the tag team division. The women's tag team division. You have Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, which, there you got some star power there, but it's just there's just a lot missing there, Mr. Bludd. And
There is a lot missing there. And a shout out to Roman Snow 13 here in the comments. As soon as Netflix gets Raw, down goes SmackDown. And it's not the first time that they've done this in their history where Raw got a bigger TV rights deal, so they focused heavily on Raw more than SmackDown. And they've done it vice versa too. When they signed that huge SmackDown on Fox deal several years ago before that lapsed, they put all their effort into fucking SmackDown, and Raw was getting shit. But that was in the height of the Bloodline stories. So everything they did was predicated on the Bloodline, and Raw had to take a back seat for a hot fucking minute. I don't understand why you can't equally give the care to both shows at the exact same time. Favoriting one show over another only hurts your product on a week-to-week basis because they're two separate shows. It's especially your biggest market being America. It's only everything on Netflix. SmackDown only benefits on Netflix internationally. So it's just like, but America is your biggest market. So you're telling the American viewers, you don't give a fuck about fucking SmackDown because all they see you doing is pushing Raw as much as humanly possible. And all the branding is on Raw too. So it's just like, come on.
And it's crazy to think about that this past episode of NXT was way better than the last episode of SmackDown too. Like,
not surprised.
Better.
Not surprised. And I said that, you know what? I said this last week. I said last week that no matter what version of NXT we've gotten, aside from the original game show bullshit they did back with the Nexus when that first started and Daniel Bryan was a rookie, I'm talking when they went black and gold and Triple H was running it. And even when Vince turned it into a late life crisis, the rainbow bullshit during COVID, and then we got to the black, gold, and white that it is now, it has always remained a consistently wrestled, consistently performed week-to-week product. It has always remained good to great, no matter what iteration in the last fucking 15 years. When it comes to SmackDown, it has had the worst fucking booking, storytelling since the Bloodline story, the first one ended. The original Bloodline, before Solo breaks off and makes 2.0, SmackDown for me truly ended its run of dominance between the brands. It's 4 years of dominance from the beginning of the Bloodline story and everything. It ended right after they did the fucking the draft in 2024. Because the draft started off great. It started off real good. Within a month, they were already fucking it up. They had turned Carmelo Hayes into an afterthought when they gave him a title match against Cody on the fucking inaugural fucking episode of that roster split or on that draft and everything. And then slowly but surely, it just started trending downhill. But since WrestleMania 40 and before that 4 years, SmackDown was better than Raw. And it's just they've squandered all that goodwill the Bloodline story had built up for that brand.
Shout out to Jaron Lacey says, I think Y6 should be featured more. Yeah, you would think they would be featured more since they're the tag team champions right now, right?
As heavily as they were fucking I mean, hell, even when they originally brought the Wyatt Six back, it was on Raw. And then they brought them over to SmackDown after Bo Dallas's injury healed. And it's like, what happened to all that great? I mean, do you remember when they debuted 2 years ago, the fucking production value they gave every segment those guys were in? Remember, the lights go out, they go, everybody backstage gets mauled. Freaking Chad Gable's leaned up against the wall. He's down. Everybody's down. And they appear through the smoke. Their original arrival, all the work that went into building those QR codes so fans could fucking follow the clues to figure out who it was that was debuting and why. And all that effort they put into it, all the stock they put into it, they were so over when they fucking were on Raw and debuted. Fast forward the clock a year, on and off booking, on TV, off TV for months.
Yeah, because I think Bo got injured and everyone got off TV after that, right?
Yeah, but even before that, they'd be in a storyline, then they'd be out of a storyline, then they'd be back in one, then they'd be out of one. Like legit, like their first stories when they debuted were going up against Alpha Academy. Then they had the Karrion Kross's faction. Then they were gone. They come back for a little bit, start going after Tag's Team Gold. Then they go because he's injured. They're off TV for like 3, 4, 5 months. Come back, they're on SmackDown now. And then they've been in the same fucking feud with 4 other teams for 8 months.
Well, you're not the only one, Mr. Bludd, that feels this way. Apparently, there has been a lot of fans expressing their dissatisfaction with SmackDown and the quality of the storytelling and the booking and all of that shit. So there's going to be some creative shakeups over on SmackDown. It's been reported that creative changes are underway for WWE SmackDown in October following negative fan reception, while Brian the Road Dogg James will remain the head of creative. The team is being expanded to address viewer satisfaction.
Good.
Fans have recently compared SmackDown unfavorably to Raw. I forgot that the Road Dogg was the head of creative.
And speaking of what you just said, shout out to John Utah Godfrey. That's why they need 2 creative teams that work together and separate per each brand. I agree with that. You know, it doesn't work because to me, I feel like SmackDown is suffering because I feel like Nick Khan, Bruce Pritchard, and Triple H are exhausted, and they're mentally exhausted, and they're spreading themselves so damn thin because they feel like they've got to be in control of every single show. And I feel like they've prioritized Raw over SmackDown because it's the bigger brand, the bigger deal, has the bigger stars, makes the most money. And they're at the point where they haven't given up on SmackDown, but it feels like they are phoning it in to spare themselves energy. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, there's a couple examples here that that are being pointed out about creative issues on Friday Night SmackDown, specifically the Street Profits. The tag team of Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins has shown public tension, but creative has repeatedly hesitated to pull a trigger on that split. Fans are growing impatient with the ongoing off-again teases.
Yeah, they've been breaking up for like 2 years, it feels like at this point. And the thing is that, you know what? Perfect example. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller.
Oh my God. Wait, were they on SmackDown though? I thought they were.
They were on SmackDown for quite a while. Okay. And then they were on Raw. Like, because keep in mind, they were together for like a year and a half. And like, dude, you want to talk about will they, won't they, Ross and Rachel bullshit. Like, imagine being edged for a year and a half. It's like, bro, can I get to that thing or not? I mean, they had a whole fucking story with backstage segments and match spots where Grayson was using Austin as a human shield or constantly getting him hurt. Then Austin started wising up and then goading Grayson into those spots to get revenge. And the entire time you've got, at the time, babyface DIY attempting to fucking get Austin Theory on the side of the light and away from Grayson. That went nowhere. It got dropped like a bad fucking habit. And because they took 20 years to tell the story, they took it long enough in time for Austin Theory to get injured, and he's been on the shelf for like 6.5, 7 months. We have not seen him since the beginning of this fucking year. And it's like, and then just all we get for all that waiting, all that patience, all that good grace, and at the worst part, all that investment in the story for a lot of us who were waiting to see how that would split. Because I kept thinking this is going to be Austin's time to hit babyface, because I truly believe as a disciple of John Cena, he would make an insanely great babyface. We get a throwaway line when Grayson's talking to fucking New Day about how useless he was, and he was holding me down, and he was an anchor around me. He was so negative. And, we can never win because he just couldn't get his act together. And it's like, and then he just joins New Day out of nowhere, and boom, we just drop the fucking Austin Theory stuff cold turkey after almost 2 years of waiting for a payoff. It's absurd.
Where the fuck has he been? Like, Jesus
He's injured.
Christ.
He's injured.
Oh
and we don't know why. They haven't even disclosed the injury, which is funny. I want to know why he's injured because I follow Austin Theory on TikTok, and all I do is see him post his workouts and post motivational fucking content where he speaks to people and tries to give them positive life motivation about God and about, health and fitness and eating healthy all the time. What was the injury? Because he looks fine to me.
Yeah. Thanks for everyone that's on the comments hanging out with us. Please be sure to double tap that screen and share it. Let the people know that we are here.
Yes, please spam that heart button as many times as you can for like 20 seconds straight. Do your boys a favor so we can get this out to more people so more people can join in on the fun and the actual discussion. If you wouldn't mind, we'd greatly appreciate it. Share it and spam, double tap, rapid tap that screen, please.
Here's another creative issue for you, Mr. Bludd, that people have been complaining when it comes to SmackDown. The women's division. Creative has drawn criticism for its handling of top female wrestlers, including Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill, and Julia. Thoughts on that?
Sometimes it's not all on creative. Tiffany's been champion for fucking 8 months. 8-9 months. I'm sorry. She's just not ready. And the truth is, they don't know who to put the fucking title on because the biggest stars they have are on Raw that are in the women's division, aside from Alexa Bliss and Charlotte, who they threw into a will they won't they tag team story. And then they can't put it on Jade because they know she's not ready, and so does everybody else. And they don't want to put it back on Nia because Nia already had it like twice in the last year and a half. Naomi's on a different brand, and she's pregnant and out right now and going to be out for the next year to year and a half. So it's like
Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss are in the tag team division.
Exactly. And it's like, dude, what do you expect? You put it on someone at the wrong point of the year, and you left it on her to the point where people got pregnant, people switched brands, people got injured. You threw other people in tag stories. And then you wanted to and then Bianca, who has also been out with an injury. So it's like, dude, you made your bed, you shit in it. Now you get to roll around and lie in it for 7 to 8 hours until you wake up tomorrow. Because Tiffany has proven time and time again that she is not ready. She chokes in every match or nearly fucking unalives herself in every other match in between. If she's not getting hurt, Jade's getting hurt. Nia Jax, by the way, did not hurt Jade Cargill, folks. I rewatched that footage a bunch of times. They were back over halfway across the ring. Jax threw her, and she launched herself into the stairs that protecting her fucking face. And so she can't even bump without getting injured.
Shout out to Big Smokey 254. Thank you for the comment. If it wasn't a physical injury with Austin, maybe it was a different type of medical diagnosis. It'll explain keeping it on the low / private. Yeah, it could be.
Hopefully it's nothing too serious.
We miss you, Austin Theory.
And shout out to Tim Wilson, who says Liv Morgan returns soon. Liv is reported to not be returning until at least Rumble season. And if she does return there, my friend, she's on Raw because she's got to finish out her Judgment Day story with Roxanne, and probably what's going to lead to the official final thank Father fucking God breakup of the Judgment Day after a 4.5 year story that has already gone through 3 iterations of that team.
There's this foxy lady over here liking our live and sending us roses. Lady, I'm a happily married man. Lady, what you doing? Trying to get me in trouble?
I don't even see him. That's on your. We have separate chats.
Good. All right. Well, we have some good news when it comes to SmackDown. It looks like they're gonna try to improve the blue brand over there, but I mean, they've done this before. Like when they're like. Remember that big promo that Vince and Stephanie and Shane did?
Yeah, I was just thinking about it before you said it.
We're finally going to listen to the fans. And, I mean, are they actually going to do it this time, do you think?
Come on, bro. It's just a way to quell the people. I mean, look, I remember watching that promo live where, we realized things haven't exactly been smooth. And we realized The show hasn't been as cohesive. And we want you to know that we listen. We hear you. And we're going to start listening to you more. We're going to start giving you what you want to see. Bullshit. Because then they proceeded to give us another year of everything Vince wanted to see. And Roman Snow 13 says, no, they're going to keep the Judgment Day. If you have been paying attention, they are 100% breaking the Judgment Day up and splitting them probably into two separate factions that are going to change their name. The Judgment Day has been together for over 4 years through 3 iterations since Edge started it with Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley. Judgment Day is not going to last much longer because when Liv comes back, people are going to be picking sides and she's going to get ousted. So is Finn going to turn on Dominic Mysterio, by the way. Dominic's probably going to start spending more time in AAA. And JD and Finn are probably going to go back to the tag division. So
that's another perfect example of the issues that people have over on SmackDown with the Street Profits. It's that will they, won't they type thing. How long has the Judgment Day been having these issues? It feels like it's been forever.
Every version of the Judgment Day, of which there have been 3, my brother, have all turned on each other at some point. Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest literally turned on Edge the day he invited Finn Balor into the group.
That's true.
Then you got the iteration of Finn and freaking Damian and Rhea, and then they tried to coax Dominic from Ray for the longest time until Ray turned on a quickly rebounded babyface team of Edge and Rey Mysterio because he felt left out. Then they invite him in, right? Then they have their whole split with the Terror Twins of Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest because they got ousted by a vengeful Liv Morgan because Rhea injured her and turned on her and their tag team a year and a half prior. So Liv then took everything from her and then they split again into 2 factions. The new version of the Judgment Day and then this version with Liv. And then they coaxed in and invited JD McDonough even though Damian didn't trust him there in the first place. And then now we're at the iteration where Carlito has been in the group and he's gone. R-Truth was a part of the group and he's gone. And now you've got Raquel, Roxanne, JD, Finn, and Dom with an injured Liv who is seething through her teeth in kayfabe at home with Dominic now and Finn now at each other's throats as much as they can possibly be. 4 years. The Judgment Day started during COVID, my friends.
Well, the potential changes that could be coming to SmackDown. Now, tell me what you think about this, Mr. Bludd. They're trying to, reportedly, they're going to reinforce the creative team to address the issues. WWE is adding more members to the SmackDown creative team. Triple H is under pressure. Online fan criticism directed at Triple H following the recent creative issues suggests that management may be feeling the pressure to improve the product. Increased focus on storytelling. The creative shuffle is intended to boost the show's overall quality and storytelling. So
the thing is, you wouldn't have to respond to pressure if you just kept the quality consistent the whole time. Yeah. It's not hard to deliver a consistent quality product. You guys have been doing this for over 60 years. And on top of that, look, we're past the fucking what's it called? The honeymoon period with Triple H. No one thinks everything you do is gold now, Triple H. You were doing great in the beginning until you started sinking into the role more, and we started to see what your booking flaws are. And look, you're not perfect. Everybody's human. But brother, you keep making the same mistakes over and over and over and over again, no matter how many times people tell you online, hey, we keep seeing the same mistakes over and over and over and over and over again. How many times do we have to tell you, Triple H, you keep fucking taking too long to pull the trigger on stars that we say we're willing to pay to see, stars that we say we want to cheer and love. And that's why, like, 2 years ago was the perfect time to pull the trigger on LA Knight. They waited until this year to put him in the main event. That's a perfect example. We kept saying forever that we wanted Jey Uso to get his push. We waited till this year until Jey Uso got the push with the world title.
I was going to say, but sometimes that works though when you don't pull the trigger as fast, because look at Jey Uso. He's fucking off, through the roof right now, and he's still going.
I mean, and that's the thing though. But look, the moment he won the title, the moment he was in the run, half the fans turned on him. And then they said, oh, he's vanilla. Oh, he can't wrestle. Oh, he's boring. Oh, he's this. Oh, he's that. Oh, he's this. Yeah. And it's the same with Cody. Everybody was a Cody crybaby until the fucking day after he won the damn thing at 40. Then half of the fan base, oh, he's boring. We need Homelander Rhodes. He should turn heel. He should lose it. Oh, man, he's got such a boring run. Even though he had only had one defense at the time, people were saying his run was boring because he was a baby face. And it's like, he just won it 4 weeks ago. How does his reign suck? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, the problem is the IWC, the internet wrestling community, is so fucking fickle with everything they want. It's exactly why the WWE doesn't listen to the fans. Because if the fans were more consistent, and this goes both ways, we can't just expect the product to be consistent throughout its booking. Fans need to remain consistent with whom they are behind, who they cheer, whom they want to push, and who they're screaming and clamoring to say they see. And that's the thing, because the fans are so fickle, why would WWE trust its fan base and what they say?
Not only why
would they listen to us? Because we don't even apparently know what we want, and we honestly keep proving that time and time again.
It's not that we don't know what we want. We know what we want, but sometimes what we want is not best for business. Like,
the thing is, you're right. But
sometimes
the problem
there's people back there that know more about wrestling than we do.
And that's the truth. But here's the problem with that. Triple H says they only listen to the fans of the building. They don't really pay attention to what the people online say. You know how I know that's bullshit? Because everything the WWE has literally said negates that. We are a content company. We are a content creation company. Everything we make is 100% for digestible content. We make movies. We make online they have gone away from the mom and pop business model. Triple H has said it a million times. Everything they are about is producing web, video, TV, streaming content. Content. You know where the content is? On the internet. So I know they listen to the IWC, the internet wrestling community. I fucking know they do. Yeah. The problem is they're picking and choosing what sides they listen to when they need to listen to everybody and then go, hey, okay, these are the toxic fans. These are the diehard fans who really say they want this and they're pushing for it. The problem is they did that with Cody. They listened to us with Cody. They listened to us with Truth. They listened to us with Jay. And the moment they gave us everything we wanted, we turned on every single decision. Aside from Truth, they stopped booking him himself. But everything else, we get it. And then the moment we get it, that same fan base that was screaming into the echo chamber goes, it's boring. It could have been booked better. It could have been booked this way. Oh, I want, if they had told this story, if they'd put Cody against this guy, if they had turned Cody heel, if Jay had done this, if Jay had done that, then it would be better. Oh, so hold on. What you're saying, fans, is that all the decisions they made to satisfy you would only be good if they did every single thing you said that you want them to do. Then why are they in the business of creating content if they have no say in the creation of that content, in the storytelling? So the fans need to be fair and be consistent with the shit we say just as much as the product needs to be consistent with how it's produced. It's a symbiotic two-way street, guys. We all need to fucking understand that. It can't just be all WWE's fault all the time.
No, and like, this is one of the reasons why I love pro wrestling still till this day, modern day wrestling, because as much as we want to pretend or act, or actually some of us actually know, you know, our wrestling, and we know, okay, what makes sense, you know, this is who has to win. And then they come out and they do some crazy ass shit that I wasn't even thinking or expecting, and I'm just like, oh fuck, that was actually really fucking good. Like, there's still times where they get me like that, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like nothing that us as fans can even come up with or think of, you know? And it's just like,
yeah, sometimes cool. when they swerve, they pivot, it's gold. Like I mean, the John Cena heel turn.
Yeah.
One of the best moments I've ever seen in my 25 years as a wrestling fan. One of the greatest moments I've ever gotten to witness, and God, am I glad I watched it live and didn't wait like I was planning to. Like, it's stuff like that where if you left it up to the fans,
it wouldn't happen.
It wouldn't happen. Because the moment John Cena turned heel, fans said, "Ugh, they're scraping the bottom of the barrel. Ugh, they must really have no ideas for Cena's last year if they're turning him heel. Oh, it's so predictable to turn him heel." Weren't you the people who were bitching for the last 10 years that they should have turned him heel? So the moment they do now, it's a bad idea? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm all for SmackDown getting better because, I mean, we review SmackDown weekly, every fucking Friday. So, yeah, the last couple SmackDowns the last couple months of SmackDown, I feel like have just not been there.
They've been, I'm sticking to my guns where I say that honestly, the SmackDown for me has not been as good as it should have been since WrestleMania 40 ended. When WrestleMania 40 was over and the main bloodline story of Cody chasing Roman ended, there was something special about SmackDown, that feeling in the air of that excitement of looking forward to the next story beat in the bloodline, the next segment, what's going to happen, that's gone.
Yeah.
And it left. And honestly, that's how I know this whole Renaissance era was really on the back of one, the creation and rise of AEW, and two, the bloodline story. Those two things specifically brought wrestling fans back. And it kept them there for 4 years until the decline of AEW's quality and until the decline of the bloodline story quality, because they kicked a freaking unalived horse, man. When they ended the story, they didn't need to keep going with the Solo Sikoa shit. They didn't need that. It didn't need that. Reuniting the bloodline 6 months after fucking WrestleMania, when Cody had already taken them down at Mania, just to have him team with Roman 6 months later. Why? And then we got the Survivor Series shit. And then 2 months later, we've got Roman versus fucking Solo to blow off the whole 5-year story on the first inaugural episode of Raw on Netflix. Why? You drug it out for another fucking 9.5 months. And it didn't need it. And they wonder, well, we don't know why people have lost interest. Because you keep dragging the horse. Pick new stories. Make new stars. Don't rely on the one thing that kept you in the game or brought you back to the table for 4 years. That story had a beautiful beginning, amazing middle, and a perfect end. And they're like, but wait. The story's never really over. There's just more chapters. Fuck you.
This is the what did Paul Heyman say? The
shit Triple H said too.
9th inning or whatever?
The 9th. He said they're not even in the 9th inning yet.
Yeah.
Well, fuck, can we please be? Because eventually the game's getting boring, and I'd like to go home.
There's more.
There's more. Like,
yeah. Well, this is the perfect segue into our next topic because it is related to the booking and, some fans' dissatisfaction and all this. And we talked about this a little bit already, but it is being reported now, not officially by the WWE, but by the dirt sheets, that supposedly Gunther, of all people, and I love Gunther, is going to be John Cena's final opponent for his retirement match December 13th at Saturday night's main event.
Yes.
I don't know how I feel about that, but yeah.
Real quick, shout out to Lando in the comments. Big brother Bludd, always good to see you, bro. If I believe so, I think that's my actual brother's account. If it is, because he goes by Lando as a nickname, I love you, buddy. But yeah, Gunther, the last opponent. I'm sticking to my guns on this one. I've been saying it for since they announced it. I've been saying it before they announced it. I've been saying it for Snug, who is it that I truly believe definitively, unequivocally, and irrevocably should be John Cena's last opponent?
Oh, that's easy. El Grande Americano.
I will kick you in the dick.
No, no, LA Knight, dude. You've been screaming it out the top of your lungs every day.
It's LA Knight. Again, look, I love Gunther. I'm a huge fan of Gunther. Massive fan of Gunther. He is a throwback. I love old school technical style wrestling. I love brawler, bruiser technical style wrestling. He's amazing. Once in a generation, this guy, for his credibility. The problem is Gunther doesn't fucking need it. He has been a champion for over 80% of his entire tenure in WWE. Why does he... Retiring John Cena should mean something to the person who beats him. It should give them a rub or a push that would push their career into the next level that it needs to be. Give them a credibility going into WrestleMania season. That is what doing this should be. Gunther doesn't need any more credibility. He's pretty fucking credible.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't need it, but he can definitely use it.
He could. What does he need to use it for?
I mean,
he needs to lose every once in a fucking while.
There's still a lot of people that aren't convinced with Gunther, but if Gunther is the final opponent for John Cena, and if he beats John Cena, that's gonna put a lot more heat on Gunther. Like, you have no fucking idea.
Yeah, but the heat for what? You don't, because you're not gonna put the title straight back on him. So what's the heat for? At this point, Gunther is a special attraction star because they've made him damn near intangible. And when it comes to, yes, thank you, Roman Snow 13. Gunther is 2 over. And here's the thing, Roman Snow, to answer your question, why I think LA Knight. LA Knight is the only active roster member on WWE today that still has a story with John Cena that was started and hinted at 2 years ago when they tagged together and has not been completed and was never blown off or had the book closed on it. Everyone else that Cena had a story with, he's already done it. Randy Orton, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, R-Truth, about to be AJ Styles, another Brock Lesnar. Like, legitimately, we don't need another Roman Reigns match. And at the end of the day, when it comes down, we even got Sami Zayn, a reverse open challenge. The reason LA Knight needs this is because they were supposed to pull the trigger on him when he was the most over star in the company 2 years ago, the most over, and they didn't. They choked, and now they waited 2 years to put him in the fucking main event where he's fucking popular as shit, and he has proven that he can hang in the main event, that he belongs there. If he retires John Cena, it will do wonders for his career. One, he gets to have Cena's last match, someone he was on good terms with 2 years ago, so it's a sign of respect when he pins him. 2, it puts him as a favorite to win the Rumble. 3, he can go into the Chamber or go into Mania with that in his story bag. He retired John Cena. Everybody else has already been a champion. Everybody else has already done the damn thing or main evented WrestleMania or headlined a pay-per-view or has been in the main event for a hot minute. LA Knight, if they don't pull the trigger on him now, then when? Ever. Never, because he's already in his mid-40s. So you ask me, he needs to fucking retire Cena so he can carry that into the next stage of his career. There's no one else left for him to tell a story with on John Cena's side. There's no one left for John Cena to face that's going to fucking matter.
Oh, but there is, Mr. Bludd.
If you say El Grande, I'm going to reach through the screen.
No, I'm not. I'm being for real. But, I mean, yes, you're not wrong in that LA Knight would be a great final opponent for John Cena. I agree. The match would be phenomenal. LA Knight is great in the ring. Cena is Cena. But you've said it before. LA Knight, he's getting up there in age too. He's not going to be in wrestling for very long. So yes, he can use that.
That's why you got to capitalize.
He can use that John Cena rub. Okay. LA Knight is over as fuck right now too. So if he beats Cena, I mean, what is that really going to do any difference for LA Knight? Is he going to get more over? Maybe. But then again, maybe not, because he already is over.
But it puts him in the talk. It puts him in the talk for a contendership. Remember, he's gunning for the World Heavyweight Championship. He said, I'm going to end this year, World Heavyweight Champion. Yeah. Remember, understand this. Beating Cena, retiring Cena, you're talking about the quote-unquote greatest of all time. 17-time world champion here. You beat him. You skipped the fucking line to the number one contendership. Hell, you punch your ticket to the top last 5 spots in the Royal Rumble. You headline WrestleMania. It is because LA Knight is in his 40s, that he should have this moment now. You know who else is in the main event in their 40s? The Usos. Okay? Seth Rollins is about to be 40. Cody Rhodes just turned 40. CM Punk is in his late 40s. AJ Styles is almost 50. Damian Priest, mid-40s. John Cena, about to be 50. So why not LA Knight? He's younger than about 4 of those guys I just mentioned. Randy Orton, you know?
Yeah,
so
no,
why not?
I'm not saying like I don't want to see LA Knight. It would be fucking awesome for LA Knight to be in that spot.
And
But,
he's
like,
earned it.
But
He's
like we've
earned it.
also gotten to the point too where this retirement tour for John Cena, because the dates were so limited that I mean they've done these matches already, and like you said, they're running out of people that has history with Cena that they could put there to really give that final match like a really big feel match moment, like the final time, you know, and like we want to talk about like, okay, who can we put there that without no build whatsoever, because Cena's dates are all booked up, who can we put there that is going to be like, oh my God, I need to see that? Not just because, oh, this is Cena's final match. No, someone that is going to be like, wow, like that fucking, you know, that's going to draw fucking money and like, man, on the final day, we're going to see this person versus Cena. There's not, I mean, not Gunther, not LA Knight. Like, I'm just thinking about like people are gonna pay $10,000 for front row seat tickets.
The one person I can think of that everybody's been screaming into the ether is Edge. And the thing is that Edge is signed with AEW. People need to get over that. Tony Khan, Nick Khan, and Triple H are not going to put their shit back in their pants to stop having a measuring contest long enough to let WWE borrow Edge for one fucking night. You know why? Because that's AEW going, sure, take all the money we've invested in Edge and just blow it up with your own star power. Sure, all that goodwill. So all of our fans will tune in to watch Edge on your product. Of course. No.
I'm thinking like, okay. And then remember how I said I had a wild prediction for this that you're probably not going to like, but I don't give a shit. I'm going to say it anyway.
Go for it.
This is me being realistic, right? And I'm just thinking about wow factor. I'm thinking about like final match, big fucking marquee, not just because this is Cena's last match, right? Someone that'll really get attention for Cena's last match for good, bad, better, indifferent, for worse, whatever. And someone who hasn't closed a chapter with John Cena, The Rock.
I don't hate it, but I've also seen twice in a lifetime, and I don't know how The Rock stacks up in his final appearance with John with all that weight he lost. He's also, I don't know if The Rock can get there. Look, there's a huge, unless you're a wrestler, or unless you're a smart wrestling analyst like yourself, I can tell you from experience, there is a difference massively between being in shape and being in ring shape. And the last thing we need to do is watch The Rock go out there and blow a fucking quad right before Oscar season while he's trying to, you know, promote himself for an Oscar for Smashing Machine. And the last thing you want to do is have 3 times in a lifetime. I can't imagine The Rock being willing to show up on Saturday night's main event. I can't. It's a Saturday night's main event. The Rock, in The Rock's head, The Rock's going to go, nah. If I'm showing up for anything, grandest stage of them all. That's the only way The Rock does business. The grandest stage. You set me up. You put me on the Mania. We get John. We say, fuck his last appearance, December 13th at Saturday night's main event. No. We move the date. We move it to April in Las Vegas. We run it back for a 3rd time. Me, the great one, and John Cena, the transvestite Wonder Woman, one more time. That's what The Rock's going to do. He ain't coming back on Saturday night's main event.
I'm just saying, like,
I wouldn't hate seeing it.
It would make sense too, because like everything, The Rock is part of this farewell tour. He's part of the story. You can say that they had already planted the seeds when The Rock turned Cena heel. The Rock could come back and be like, "What happened, Cena? I thought we were supposed to work together, you know, and now I come back and you're back to your old ways, like, you know." And then it's The Rock, and it's, you know, It's Cena's final match, and I think that'll really get the attention that Cena's final match deserves. Like, and
I would
Cena could go
like to
over.
see. I would like to see The Rock appear. I don't want to see him in the match, as someone put it in the comments. Shout out to Matt. Stay focused. I don't want to see a 58-year-old Rock off the juice trying to wrestle. He needs to quit. But
Is he 58?
no, he's actually 53. But
Close
as
enough,
far as
though.
it's concerned, look, if The Rock does come back, I want him to come back because I'm hoping they're not going to have John Cena give his farewell speech on Saturday night's main event so it can get cut off the fucking air like Goldberg's did. Because people are going to want to pay and see him say goodbye. I'm hoping that they save his farewell for the Monday Night Raw. So I'm hoping they say, I got one last appearance, a surprise appearance I didn't tell you about. My goodbye. I'll see you on Monday, kind of thing. And I would like to see people come out and say goodbye to him and pay their respect to him and their homage, surround him in the ring while he says goodbye. And then the last person that comes out would be The Rock himself to wish Cena farewell. That would be a nice image to see The Rock, because if this whole farewell tour was about John Cena's greatest hits, right? His most inspiring rivalries. Aside from like Batista and, Undertaker and people like that who aren't in the company anymore, it would be a heartwarming moment for guys like you and me who grew up watching most of his career and that amazing locker room that was the 05 all the way to like 2010 locker room of WWE, of just star-studded Hall of Famers everywhere you look. I would love to see them surround the ring and say goodbye to him and applaud him. What a nice visual to see John Cena surrounded by the people who helped make him the star that he is, along with all the fans in attendance that made him the star that he is.
Yeah.
I would like to see that.
Yeah.
With The Rock there.
One thing is for sure. Shout out to the Spider who says, to me, Gunther has gone boring. And Ill Will 707 says, I hope it's not Gunther. And you got people on your comments saying, I hope it's not The Rock. Whoever it is, whoever is going to be Cena's final opponent, I'm starting to feel bad for them because they're going to shit all over them no matter who it is, because there's no build. It's unexpected. It's going to be a last minute announcement. And it's just going to be like, them? They're going to pick who, no matter what.
Well, remember, the entire way we get to Gunther, it's predicated on one thing that they've been talking about. It's apparently supposed to be a tournament that's going to be announced that a bunch of guys are going to vie for the chance to have Cena's final match, but they have to compete in a tournament to basically win the opportunity and honor of retiring Cena. The report is that Gunther is supposed to return and win that tournament. Yeah. Hopefully, and shout out to Soto619, who actually brought this up in my comment section when I revealed this in a Blood Drop episode last week. He said, well, what if they let Gunther's name leak on purpose as a red herring for who's actually going to be his final opponent so they can keep it a secret the entire time?
I was going to say, yeah, because that report that I saw, Darth Z, thank you for the heart, was from Dave Meltzer. And first of all, like,
exactly,
this is
grain of salt, handful of salt.
This is one of the reasons why Dave gets so much heat with the WWE, and especially knowing that how close Dave is connected to AEW. Dave releases and leaks information ahead of time to kind of like, I don't know, to mess up WWE's plans or like try to shit on them or something, because if that really was the plan and Dave reports it somehow, the WWE is going to have to change everything up.
Yeah. And honestly, I guarantee you that, let's just say Soto's right? Let's just say that Gunther is the red herring because he's not here, right? He's out because he had to have nose surgery. Because he's not here, he's not in the spotlight, he's not here to speculate on. He's just a name that floats on purpose so WWE can make sure that all the dirt sheets and all the wannabe wrestling gods like fucking Dave Meltzer, who think that he's like the voice of professional wrestling to the IWC.
Let me give a quick shout out. Darth Z says, as long as it's not Brock, I'm good. And shout out to Chuck Jordan from the Holy Podcast. What up, brother? My name is Chuck Jordan. Thank you for hanging out with us, bro. Go ahead.
But if it's a red herring to throw all those people off who WWE knows are going to spoil it, then you got to think maybe we really don't know who that maybe that mystery, maybe it's a mystery on purpose, a shock reveal. It could honestly be anybody at this point, and we won't know. But I will tell you, at the end of the day, whoever it is, it's gonna be bittersweet.
Yeah.
And there's also a lot of pressure on it as well, because it's the last match. Is it gonna be as good as Cody and John? Is it gonna be as good as Cody and Punk? It's going to be judged and heavily critiqued either way, any way you look at it, because it's his last match. It could be Roman fucking Reigns having that last match. Who knows? Could be one of the people he's already faced a second time.
Brock.
Like oh God, please don't throw that in the wood chipper. Like, it could be Punk again. It could be Cody again. It could be Truth. It could be Sammy. It could be Solo. It could be anybody he's faced in the last 5 fucking years for that last match. All I know is whoever he faces, it better matter.
Right.
Because if it doesn't, the fans are going to take it over, and they're going to ruin it, because they're going to say, oh, you wasted it on this person. You wasted it on this person. The same way they did when they gave Baron Corbin Kurt Angle's last match. It was supposed to be a nice, beautiful send-off for Kurt, and they fucking squandered it.
Yeah, and if it's like someone unexpected, like a big major return, like, I don't know, like we talked about Austin Theory and Isla Dragunov, it would still kind of be like, like, really?
It doesn't, yeah, it doesn't feel right. It feels like it needs to be something with an emotional impact to Cena, or something that already makes sense in his history, which is why I said LA Knight. There's no one left to face.
Big Smokey says,
active wrestler.
What if it's Triple H comes out of his last match with John? I think Triple H would probably have a heart attack and freaking pass out in the middle of the ring if that happens.
Well, I mean, hell, I'd be fine if it was Shawn. Their classic matches in 05 and 06 were insane. But like, we have to be realistic here. It's got to be someone who is an actual active competitor, who isn't going to injure John on the way out, hurt themselves, can run a whole match with him. You got to think, it's his last match. This isn't going to be some 9-minute thing. It's going to take up probably the last quarter of the show. I guarantee you, between entrances and in-ring, his final match is no less than 25 minutes. No way it's less than 25 minutes. They're going to give you every last bit of Cena that they can squeeze out of that man. Because unlike Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, they can't make him do it till he's 90. So the way I see it, we're going to have to wait and see.
The homie Chuck Jordan says, if Cena hadn't taken 2 losses back-to-back, I thought Cena versus Braun Breaker would have been nice to pass the torch, but they ruined that already.
Yeah. I mean, someone here said if Kurt Angle was 60% more mobile, they would say Kurt Angle, because it'd be a perfect bookend. If Kurt could still wrestle, he had seen his first match in the WWE. Imagine him having his last. That would be the perfect fucking fairy tale ending.
It would.
I would be here, and I'd be here for it, because I've watched Kurt wrestle live a gajillion times. And
Kurt's a nice guy. He did our intro for us, so I would love to see that.
Yeah, and it'd be amazing. And it's just one of those things where the closer we get, the more surreal it feels that we are really nearing the end of it. And I've watched Cena's entire career from the day he debuted to today. And
you're going to cry.
Oh, I will cry. I have not, in the 23 years Cena's been an active roster member, I never missed a single televised or pay-per-view / PLE match he ever had. Not one. I've seen every match he ever had that was broadcast live on TV or live on pay-per-view. His entire 23-year career from the jump. So for me, it's extremely personal when I see him go. You know,
I can't
grew up
wait.
with him.
I can't wait to fucking see who it is, man. When do you think we're gonna find out?
I think we don't find out until after Survivor Series. Because
That's a long
Survivor
time
Series. No, that's next month. So
yeah, like the end of next month.
Yeah, but we're already almost halfway through this one, brother. It started like October
We
9th.
just started October. We got like 2 months.
It's October 9th, brother.
Okay.
We have 2 months and 5 days till he's gone. 2 months and 5 days.
Yeah.
So, that's about 66 days from now. As far as it's concerned, his third to last match is in 2 days. And then we have the build, because now the reports are saying he's going to be in Survivor Series. And then you got to think, so they're not, because they're using that appearance for Survivor Series, which tells me I think he's on Team Cody Rhodes. Or not Team Cody Rhodes, sorry. I think he's on helping the Bloodline, or not the Bloodline, and them take care of the Vision. But because he's never done a War Games. But because they're using that date for that, he's not building a promo for his last match. It's just going to be announced, which kind of sucks. But as far as it goes, I think we find out. I think the tournament will probably start beginning of November, and it'll be a weekly tournament until we get to right after Survivor Series, where the finals happen, and then whoever wins the finals at Survivor Series is the person having seen his last match on December 13th. He'll come out, shake their hand, cut a promo to build it while he's already in the building to say, hey, it's you and me, yada, yada. This is going to be great, yada, yada. And that'll be the only build we get for it.
Lame. All right. Well, we went over our time, Mr. Bludd. I think we should call it here. We will be back again whenever, tomorrow or something. And this weekend, it's going to be a crazy-ass weekend, and I can't wait. It's going to be fun, right, Mr. Bludd? Take us home.
Oh, God, tomorrow. Got to do this shit early as fuck. Oh, we're doing that. God. 3 p.m. review for SmackDown because the shit's live at 8 a.m. Okay, but as far as it goes, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Snug Wrestling on our weekly one-on-one Thursday slot here on TikTok Live with myself, Mr. Bludd, and that handsome Mexican over there, Edgar, the head of Snug Wrestling. We are live every Monday and Friday after SmackDown and Raw go off the air respectively for live post-show reviews. You can catch us every single Thursday, like I said, at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific for TikTok Live hourly one-on-ones where we answer random wrestling topic questions and your fan questions live. And then you guys can catch us on Apple and Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts, where we also do stream live to Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. So until next time, folks, stay safe, stay savage, and stay snug.